UCF. Just give us your takeaways, what you see with
Well, well, first off, I mean, I mean, credit goes to UCF, the university, and to Coach Dawkins. I mean, that was an amazing environment. It's a big time college basketball environment, and now UCF's building their program and establishing their traditions and their legacy. But that was up there with any of them. So a credit to you guys, and it was a joy to compete in that environment. So um, just thankful for the opportunity.
Coach Themis Folks had 30 points tonight, a
Yeah.
career high for him. What'd you evaluate from his performance tonight? What'd you look at the game
Well,
film on?
he's a heck of a player, and he's got good speed, and he's got good swag and good confidence, and we kind of had him pegged as a little bit more of a passer because he's had 12 assists each of the last two games, and and we knew he could score a little bit, and we told our guys, he's also a double figure scorer, but he hit some pretty tough shots, and so I think maybe in the second half we just got fortunate some of those shots rolled off, and I don't know, maybe get a little bit tired, but to him to drop a 30 piece on us, I mean that says to me he's a heck of a player.
Coach Braden Berry's very excellent shooter. Talk about how he plays with so much experience as a freshman.
Yeah, I mean he's a basketball junkie from a basketball family, and some kids just have it. They have that poise and that presence, and he has it. I'll give Braden a lot of credit. I mean, there was obviously high expectations for how he was going to play this year for us, and he may have started out a little bit slow, but he's really hung with it, and he's just such a steady person that you knew that it would come through in the end. And I even told one of our assistants today, I had a sneaky suspicion that he was going to play pretty good today. So he did a great job, and hit a couple of timely shots in the second half. That three, kind of on that broken sideline inbounds play was huge, and kind of, I felt like kind of gave us enough cushion to kind of ride out the craziness of the last couple minutes.
In the first half, you went on a 17-2 run. What did you guys do to open the game up?
Well, I think our guys settled into the game a little bit, settled into the environment, and we attacked the paint. We were able to get some stops. They missed some shots, and kind of able to get some stuff out in transition, and and to settle in and kind of establish our post players. And you always have a healthy respect for your opponent, and so I don't take lightly being able to build an early lead, because I know there's ebbs and flows to the game, and just to be able to build a little bit of a cushion. I mean, I don't know. I think they tied it? I don't know if they ever did to actually take the lead. I mean, maybe they did. But I felt really comfortable where we were at. You don't want to come to a tough environment like this and start off slow and be on the other end of that run, and you're playing uphill on the road. It's a tough job.
Coach, I want to get some more thoughts on what you thought of the UCF team. You just talked about Coach Dawkins and the roster he
I
assembled.
mean, listen, Coach Dawkins is a legend. I mean, come on. I grew up watching this guy. I mean, he was just a unbelievable smooth lefty, one of the first great college guards that I remember, watching, and just he's just a classy guy. He's just a classy guy, and he's doing a great job with the program. And it's not easy for anybody right now. And, obviously with the turnover they've had on their roster, he did a great job, building a team that looks like it has cohesion. I know it has talent, I know it has experience, and I'm just really impressed. And to me, I mean, it's early for all of us. So, there's I don't need to predict the future, but that certainly feels and looks like a good NCAA tournament team to me.
You mentioned
with, especially with the night that Cole had the other night, and just him getting in foul trouble and not being as much of a factor. What did you
I
think?
mean, I told our guys that, to be able to kind of, win on the road in an environment like this against a team that's 14-2. With Koa, kind of, had a couple, a tough foul call early. I thought, you hate to see one of your better players, get, a foul. I mean, the ref called it, so it's a foul. And then, kind of a random kind of hustle rebound foul, the second one. And then, we had a lead. So subbing wise, I was like, I was kind of managing, our lead, with his fouls. And, just felt like, it wasn't worth putting him back in the game while we had a lead, and felt like we were doing okay. Even though they made a little run back at us, we still could absorb that run a little bit and kind of save him in his fouls for the second half. And, it's just not going to be your day every day. And Koa's such a high character guy. He understands this is a team game, and he's going to be great one day, and he may not be his day the next, but he'll bounce back for sure. But credit to our team to absorb that. Deli missed some wide open shots that he hits, and he played actually a really good floor game. He just didn't make any of his shots, and that's how it goes sometimes. But I felt really good with his minutes out there as well, and so to us to absorb those two guys not having their normal production on the road says some good stuff about our team.
Yeah, I was wondering, particularly inside, absorbing, like you said, is that kind of maybe an example of the way Tobe and Mo was able to play?
Yeah, I mean, and for sure. I mean, Bruce, you watch us more than anybody. You know how we play, and we have big guys, and we're not afraid to play to that. And yeah, I mean, I feel really comfortable, rotating those three bigs in there, and they just probably had to play a little bit longer stretches in the first half than normally we're accustomed to. And maybe they wore down a little bit, but just on the road, it takes what it takes. You don't get to script these games. I don't get a I don't get a instruction manual on how to coach them. You just got to kind of feel the game as it plays out, and make adjustments where you need to make adjustments, and trust your gut. Where in moments you have to.
Kind of building on that. Then you mentioned Braden's poise, but to have the whole team kind of step up and fill in when such a big piece is not available in the first half. How much of a comfort is that for you to trust all these guys? And how
it's
much
really
of that is growth?
comfortable. It's really comfortable. Our young guys have an experience beyond their years feel. Even Yvonne, he had some, turnovers today that are probably a little bit regretful, that he'll learn from, whether they were fouls or not fouls, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you got to be stronger with the ball on the road, especially, but anywhere. But, it's a group that has a winning DNA. It has winning DNA in it, and that's something you don't take for granted. I'm not going to sit here and take all the credit for it. It has winning DNA, and we try to do our best job building a good, strong culture, and that gives us a kind of a foundation to be consistent, and that's what I'm looking for.
Coach, Postgame, as strong as it is that something you use the different dynamics of those players against whoever the opponent is going to be?
Well, for sure. I mean, we always feel like most days we're going to have an advantage, playing through our bigs inside, and we're always going to test it. I mean, it's part of our, part of our DNA and part of our formula and how we play. And yeah, I mean, I love big guys, and I always will. And the more the merrier. I'd play 3 or 4 of them at a time if I could. Just you need a few guys to dribble and move the ball. But I love having those big fellas out there.
What really worked with those big men tonight there? You had Krivas getting there with 12 rebounds, but Bradley went and got to the free throw line almost as many times as UCF's entire team did.
Yeah, Bradley, some of those are at the end. Bradley's he's world class, game finisher, for us, and get the ball, you want to get the ball to him at the end of the game in those situations so he can get fouled because you trust him at the free throw line. And you trust his decision making when the ball's in his hands. So, but yeah, I mean, getting to the free throw line is a lot of things. It could be how strong you drive. Or do you get knocked off your line? Or are you able to hold your line? And if you hold your line, obviously it looks, refs will respect that and call fouls on it. So, it's not just the inside game. There's a lot of things that go into the foul pressure. And being a team that goes to the offensive glass, you can get a lot of fouls. Getting blocked out. When teams aren't used to maybe blocking out as often. So there's lots of ways to do it, and yeah, for sure, we love free throws. I mean, they're my favorite shots in the game. Layups too. I like layups too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.